The observation deck of Xenovet Station Sigma-7 fell silent as the transport pod docked. Every alien physician, veterinarian, and medical technician pressed against the reinforced glass teal, watching as the containment unit was wheeled through the airlock. Inside, something massive stirred. "That's a Cathari apex predator," whispered Dr. Genthal, his crystalline exoskeleton flickering with nervous bioluminescence. "A full-grown male. I've only seen them in restricted holocordings." The creature inside the unit was magnificent and terrifying in equal measure. Ravlor measured nearly 4 meters from nose to tail, his body covered in obsidian scales that shimmered with an inner fire. 6 legs ending in retractable claws scraped against the containment field. His mane, a corona of plasma-like tendrils, crackled with barely contained energy. 2 rows of crystalline fangs lined a jaw that could crush starship hull plating. But it was his eyes that told the real story. They burned with pain and primal rage. "The Cathari ambassador is offering 15 million credits to whoever can save him," announced Station Director Velmora, her tentacles coiling anxiously. "Ravlor is not just any specimen. He's from the ambassador's personal pride. Apparently, he ingested something during a diplomatic hunt on Terraform Station. Something toxic. He's deteriorating rapidly." "Impossible," stated Dr. Krell, the Vathari physician. His 4 eyes blinked in sequence. "Cathari physiology operates at extreme temperatures. Their digestive acids can break down nearly anything. What could possibly—" "Human industrial coolant," Velmora interrupted. "Apparently, he broke into a storage facility." A collective shudder rippled through the assembled medical staff. "The coolant is reacting with his internal biology, creating crystalline formations in his digestive tract," Velmora continued. "He needs immediate surgery, but he's too aggressive to sedate properly. The standard doses would kill him, and lower doses won't keep him under long enough for the procedure." Silence stretched for a long moment. "I'm declining," Dr. Genthal said finally. "My people's nervous systems operate on frequencies similar to Cathari bioelectric fields. If he wakes during surgery, I'd be paralyzed instantly. The Vathari Physicians Guild forbids treating apex predators without proper containment protocols," Dr. Krell added. "This violates at least 17 safety regulations." One by one, every physician and veterinarian in the station offered their regrets, their excuses, their perfectly logical reasons for refusing. Some cited physiological incompatibilities. Others mentioned religious prohibitions. A few simply admitted they were too afraid. "There must be someone," Velmora's voice carried a note of desperation. "The ambassador has threatened to withdraw from the Galactic Veterinary Convention. The political implications—" "I'll do it." Every eye turned toward the voice. Dr. Mara Kess stepped forward from the back of the crowd, her human frame seeming almost absurdly fragile compared to the assembled aliens. She wore the standard-issue station jumpsuit, her dark hair pulled back in a practical ponytail, her brown eyes steady and calm. "Dr. Kess?" Velmora's tentacles twitched. "You've been on this station for only 3 standard months. You specialize in small animal xenomedicine. This is a patient in pain," Mara finished. She moved closer to the containment unit, ignoring the warning hisses from other staff members. Ravlor's burning eyes locked onto her, his plasma mane flaring. "I've read the Cathari physiological database. I understand the risks." "Understanding and surviving are different things," Dr. Genthal protested. "Humans are so soft. No exoskeleton, no redundant organs, no natural defenses against—" "We're adaptable," Mara said simply. "And sometimes being soft is an advantage." She turned to Velmora. "I'll need full access to the surgical bay, a custom anesthesia mixture I'll formulate myself, and one assistant willing to monitor from outside the containment field." "This is madness," Dr. Krell muttered. "Typical human recklessness." Mara smiled slightly. "My grandmother was a large animal vet back on Earth." She worked with lions, tigers, bears, all the old predators before the Restoration. She taught me something important. Every dangerous animal is just a scared animal with teeth. Respect the teeth, treat the fear. 3 hours later, Mara stood in the surgical bay, separated from Ravlor by only a shimmering containment field. She'd spent the time studying his scans, calculating dosages, and preparing her equipment with meticulous care. "Dr. Kess," Velmora's voice crackled through the intercom. "The sedative mixture you've requested. The ratios seem dangerously low." "They're precise," Mara corrected. "Cathari metabolism is fast, but it's also rhythmic. There's a 15-second window every 3 minutes where their bioelectric field dims slightly. That's when the sedative will be most effective." She'd noticed the pattern in the medical scans, something the other doctors had missed because they'd been too focused on the immediate danger. Humans, Mara reflected, were good at finding patterns. Millions of years of hunting and being hunted had wired their brains for it. "Dropping containment field in 3, 2, 1. The field dissolved. Ravlor's head snapped toward Mara immediately, his massive body tensing. His mane blazed white-hot. A sound somewhere between a roar and a shriek filled the surgical bay. Mara didn't run. She didn't freeze. Instead, she moved laterally, keeping her body language loose and non-threatening. She'd studied persistence hunting in her xenobiology courses, the ancient human technique of tracking prey not by speed, but by endurance and patience. "Easy, Ravlor," she said softly. Her voice carried a specific frequency she'd calibrated to the Cathari auditory range. "I know you hurt. I know you're scared, but I'm here to help." She waited for the rhythm she'd memorized. 15 seconds. The plasma main dimmed slightly. Mara moved. Not toward him, but to the side, placing the sedative injector against a pressure point she'd identified in the scans. The pneumatic hiss was barely audible. Ravlor whirled, jaws snapping closed centimeters from Mara's arm. But then his movement slowed. His eyes, still burning with pain, focused on her with what might have been confusion. "That's it," Mara whispered. "Let it work. Trust me." The massive predator swayed once, twice, then collapsed onto the surgical platform with a earth-shaking thud. His breathing steadied into a deep, rhythmic pattern. Mara's hands didn't shake as she picked up her instruments. "Beginning procedure now." The surgery took 4 hours. Mara worked with absolute concentration, her hands moving with practiced precision. The crystalline formations in Ravlor's digestive tract were extensive. The coolant had reacted violently with his internal chemistry. She removed them carefully, piece by piece, simultaneously administering a chelation agent she'd modified for Cathari biology. Twice, Ravlor's bioelectric field spiked, threatening to wake him. Both times, Mara adjusted the sedative mixture without hesitation, her calculations perfect. When she finally stepped back, exhausted and covered in bioluminescent surgical fluid, Ravlor's vital signs were stable and strengthening. "Procedure complete," she announced. "He'll need 3 days of recovery monitoring, but he'll survive." The observation deck erupted in stunned silence, then in a cacophony of alien congratulations and disbelief. 3 days later, Mara stood outside Ravlor's recovery unit as the Cathari ambassador arrived to collect him. The massive alien predator was awake now, his plasma mane glowing with restored health. When his eyes found Mara, something unusual happened. Ravlor lowered his great head, in what the ambassador explained was a gesture of respect rarely given to non-Cathari. "Dr. Kess," the ambassador's translator rendered his rumbling voice into standard. "My people have a saying, only the brave deserve the stars. Today, you have proven humans understand this truth." As they wheeled Ravlor away, Dr. Genthal approached Mara, his crystalline body flickering thoughtfully. "I must admit," he said slowly, "I don't understand you humans. You have no natural armor, no overwhelming strength, no obvious advantages. Yet you attempt things the rest of us consider impossible. Why?" Mara smiled, thinking of her grandmother working with Earth's old predators, thinking of every human who'd ever pushed boundaries that others said couldn't be crossed. "Because someone has to," she said simply, "and because the universe is full of patients who need help. Whether they're ravenous alien lions or scared humans far from home, they all deserve someone willing to try." She walked toward the staff quarters, leaving Dr. Genthal to contemplate the strange, reckless, magnificent species called humanity.